always consistently doing his job. He's a player that gets frags tremendously well and constantly. It's just not so flashy. He's kind of in the back lines, you know, being that constant. But you mentioned Brett, of course. We want to see if he can perform. Also important to note that Cryptic is no longer the IGL, which means that he should be able to run a little bit more wild in his own personal play. Micro is taking over the IGL role, and we'll see exactly how that turns out. With that said, we have the first map upon us. It is Inferno, and you might be mistaken. This is not the pick of Nouns, even though it is one of their most played maps. I think it's their most played map by a significant margin. It is, in fact, the pick of Detonate. And that's honestly a scary proposition for me as a Detonate fan.
Yeah, it's weird to see Detonate pick into this map. It doesn't make much sense at all. Nouns, they've played it 26 times. Their next most played is Mirage at 19. But Carson's going to get caught by Cryptic early up towards bracket. CJ and Cynic, MarKE going to chime in as well. But the kills are all going the way of Detonate. And Cryptic will finish off MarKE before Brett can get the BM and the money on the knife. B-Will's coming in, the last man rotating in. Can't connect the shots. He's shut down by Brett. And it's a good start for Brett and Detonate. They get the round, they get the bomb plant. They get their first on the board here on the T side of Inferno. Yeah, it's a very puzzling pick for Detonate, but it is picking to their strengths. It is their most played map as well.
We talked about it. They were kind of preparing to go for the RMR. In fact, they were kind of overlooking everything else. That was their main primary goal, and now that they can't use those strats they built up in the strat book for that tournament, they can unleash them here and now. And so they start things off right on their map pick. They get the pistol round on the T side. Also important to note, Cryptic off to a little bit of a heater there. A hat trick in the pistol, 3 kills. Again, he's that player where if Detonate are going to cruise through a game, it's Cryptic at the top. On cruise control, consistently finding 2-3 kills, dominating the server. So it's good to see him starting off with his best foot forward. Freshie, also, as we mentioned, a constant player, a constant fragger. Silently lurking over towards A in the meanwhile. It is an investment for Nouns, so they have to be careful in this one. Detonate want to send a probe in. Brett out towards B. Oh, he's flashed. He's stuck jumping up. And CJ through the smoke, I think. Doesn't show on the kill feed, but it definitely looks like it was through. Finds Micro as well. That is not a good start for Detonate following their pistol round victory.
No, just get Deagle spammed down by CJ. Not going to be a good start at all. And they're still going to commit to B's site as well. Pressuring forward, 2 of their 3 remaining players getting ready to go. Carson looking for something to pick up. No guns to be salvaged yet besides that 1 MAC-10 on B-Wills. The probe from Freshie is going to find nothing besides 11 damage going against the very same lurker, and B is still the end. Carson is rotating back towards A, making all the noise on Speedway. But the 2 remaining players on B, a bit of an orange's stack. One staggered out towards first orange, the other one tucked in. Should be able to deal with this, and Carson's in a fast rotation spot as well. This is not going to be easy for Detonate to bust their way on through. CJ can land an opening shot. Carson is figuring out what's going on. He's already coming through. CJ removed, though. B-Will's empty-handed. It's Cryptic. You mentioned him after the last round. You mentioned he's no longer calling the shots. Well, he's calling his shots as he's taking players down. 5 kills in the first 2 rounds with a chance for more as Carson creeps up through Church, waiting for his teammates to rotate in.
An entry star, Cryptic finds both with little issue, takes next to no damage, sets up the team for success, and now Freshie stacked up close towards the back calls, finds Carson. And what looked like a very promising round for Nouns quickly collapses. I really liked the bait and switch setup they had over towards the oranges area. I thought it was a first and second stacked up, but no, it was a bait and switch with both players playing up close and personal. Unfortunately, neither one connects their shot. Again, Cryptic bailing out the team, the hero early on for Detonate. He's the one that ensures the conversion of the pistol round victory.
That's a good response from Detonate, getting back on the board again. They don't let Nouns win that force buy. It's going to be great for them to start on their own map pick. But I think the thing we're going to keep coming back to is how good Nouns have been in the past on this map. 18-8, plus 83 round differential. They are stronger on the T side, but that also goes for Detonate themselves. So it's not going to be the easiest of times for either side. And as a matter of fact, Detonate haven't beaten a team even remotely the caliber of Nouns in the last 3 months. So it's a good start. There needs to be a lot more for Detonate, and probably not getting spammed by Deagles in the early going would be a big help to that, because against full guns, you're probably not going to be able to win that round. It was a good rotation, a good read, a good clear of that double stack towards first orange, but when you consider that it was against Deagles, maybe do that against rifles would have a different result. Still, very slow up through brackets from Detonate, taking control without the flashbangs, just that one smoke down towards Arch. Not getting anything for free from Nouns, who are just biding their time on the sites, waiting for them to walk in. And Detonate don't want to go in. They think it's too quiet. They're heading in towards a relatively open B site, just one singular Carson to defend.
This is the right call. Act 10 taking point, gonna harvest a bit of cash onto that pistol player. No, in fact, he'll just fall back. Carson doesn't want to give away any sort of advantage. Mike back to the hustle. Micro finds the first, gets the second as well. The IGL being the spear point of this one. The only real opportunity for damage is that Deagle and maybe that P250 up close, but nope, the P250 or the Deagle, excuse me, taken down. Micro could fall, but again, it's an acceptable loss. He's farmed, what, 3 kills at this point? It's $1,800 cash in the bank, in addition to the win bonus at this point, guaranteed. So this MAC 10 is an acceptable loss if he goes down. Jumping across, he spots 1. That's a 4th kill for him. He is harvesting. He's looking for the eco ace. He knows where MarKE is as well. Looks like he'll probably try to go for the kill, at least in the dying embers of this round. Will he get it? That's the question. Spots the player, doesn't get the kill. No. MarKE's not going to give it to him. He's not going to give that confidence booster. Detonate them nonetheless to find their third. Micro can drop the op over to his teammate, get the rifle from Slight. It's a little sure, but more than serviceable in this case. This is a very solid investment for Detonate. Call it a bonus almost. It's not a bonus. It's rifles across the board. It's money in the bank, and it's a heck of a good start for this T side.
And they don't leave the bomb and spawn. Good read by Micro to go back and recover that. Slight's got the big green, or I guess the lightning strike out in hand, ready to go in the early going. No op to counter for Cynic. And no peeking down mid for Nouns. They don't want to lose out to a potential op that could definitely be in play. Brett's eating a lot of that early banana damage, somehow still alive in the one-shot territory, though. Good return nade. Actually doesn't do as much damage as I thought it would. A little bit of chip damage to follow up on the Carson and B-Wills. Slow start for both sides, but a good amount of map control and information gained for Detonate. And Freshies just revealed there's at least somebody towards the hay cart.
Just showing presence, preventing Nouns from rotating around, from stacking this B site, which is where the bulk of this T side is. Running a bit of a default. Detonate, they want to wait, they want to bide their time until they get to this mid-round point. Under a minute left. The op of Slight. I don't even know how we saw him. The X-ray didn't even look like it showed. It was a disgusting shot from him. B-Wills tries to do it all, running through the smoke, but no, it's only one and done. That's the B side cracked wide open. The bomb's already rotating. And are we going to see the classic NA save gambit, or are we going to see an attempt from Nouns?
It's got to be a save here. They don't really have retake utility. They have one kit. They don't have money, and there's not much they can do with an op. Retake it. They're so far away, they're walled out, they don't know if there's a lurk towards mid, which there is, in the form of Freshie. And Detonate with a great entry from Slight on the op, just catching the top of the shoulder of Carson up towards Coffins. Another problem right now is Carson's 0-4 as the B player, and Detonate have gone B pretty much every single round except for Pistol. That's not a good start for your Coffin player. And B-Wills, he tries to get the job done, he spams down 1, but he wasn't able to get the next shot he needed onto Brett. That could have changed the whole.
There was smoke, really wasn't replicable, wasn't anything crazy.
MarKE one on the pistol.
I think one on the pistol, same with Cynic, I want to say.
I think so.
Yeah, because round 3 against the eco, there was no one falling. Micro is dancing on the hay cart. So yeah, it's a slow start across the board. We saw a kill coming in from the rifle, but it was only a single kill on the CT side. That's not acceptable, especially when your teammate loses the opening as they did. Very solid start for Detonate. I also want to highlight, talk about Nouns being the favored team, and this being one of their best maps. It's also their best map very recently. They played Pain last night and beat Pain on this map, Boggs. It isn't just like a last 3 months kind of, okay, they're good on the map, but they've fallen off. No, it's a recently played map for them, and it's a map that they're very, very comfortable on.
Nouns played a couple of BO3s last night, though, so they have to be a bit tired. And another close qualifier up again today. And yeah, they played an ECL match very late last night. I think they were playing the open qualifier for this event as well. Brett sprays away, does get one on the first, but B-Wills will swing out for the trade. Two still on the B side, but it's all a bait and switch, it's all a fake. It's A the target, cynic up in the open. He does catch one in front of the Moto, but he's going to swing around wide as MarKE's dancing around the cart. Cynic backs him up for the next light, stuck at apps. No way out, no way in to get a bomb plant. Maybe a kill onto MarKE. I think MarKE probably didn't have time to react on that after here's the scope. And overall, maybe one more for Slight would be small call. Ooh, this is winnable now. He's brought this to a winnable situation, and if he expects the player, if he expects this, he doesn't. He's done.
That was scary. That was scary for a second there. I'm not sure how Slight makes those angles work. Again, Inferno's a map where you don't see the T-side op too often because it can be unwieldy and awkward, especially when jumping out of apartments like that, and yet he makes it work incredibly well. Catches the player in the very niche, close, hate cart angle, catches the player from above in MarKE right before that as well. Slight's looking very comfortable on the T-side op for Detonate on Inferno, and that is probably a worrying scenario for Nouns in this one thus far.
It's definitely a worrying start, but they do recover well, although Cynic, or Slight rather, does make that a lot more expensive than it should have been. Slight, he's a very good opper when he's on his game, but he does have some issues tilting. Cynic might just give him the tilt as he sprays down two towards all mid. Brett, though, that's a good pick towards Banana. Takes a lot of damage, though. Brett's been taking a lot of damage on his initial fight. Cynic down middle. Slight's going to be able to win that fight, though, into a 3v3. This is doable again for Detonate. CJ's rotation towards Arch is critical. MarKE retreating. Freshie expecting, but he's greeted with death by CJ. Low HP, though, for Slight and Brett, and they're down a man. CJ down to 19 HP. Brett's pop through halls has to be good. It has to land a shot. It has to open something up. And Slight, he's creeping forward as well. Very defensible position for Nouns. Not overextending, not over-peaking. Just playing the sound cues, knowing they have the advantage. Nice little pop-up, whack-a-mole style by MarKE. He nets both kills. And there's two in a row for Nouns. 3 alive this time. And an op picked up for Cynic. Time out. It's a technical pause here, folks. So we're going to attempt to fix the issues that have been going on the stream. We apologize for that, and bear with us. We will get those fixed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at long last. A little bit of technical problems, some teething issues, as it always happens at the start of the games. But we haven't missed any of the action. That's the most important part, Bugs.
Yeah. We got it paused, we got it fixed, hopefully, and we didn't miss a single second of Detonate versus Nouns, and Nouns now have the strength of the buy. They got plenty of rifles. They got the op for cynic donated so kindly by Detonate, who are probably going to be on this weird half-buy hero rifle on Brett situation, given they don't really have a lot of money, haven't got a bomb plant in the last couple of rounds, and that 4-round streak for Detonate on the start is starting to evaporate, and again, this is their stronger side by a significant margin, about 12 percentage points, exactly 12 percentage points, 58.7% win rate on T, an abysmal 44.7 on the CT side.
Pressure's on. You have a solid T-side performance, Detonate. It is that weird kind of half-buy with one hero rifle situation. We saw it work yesterday, Boggs. It was Lukowski who went for it. Of course, that was a whole different ballgame. It was T-side Mirage as well. T-side Mirage. Don't forget that. It was a trail through A on Mirage. Different map, different qualifier, different teams, different everything. Offensive. Straight up towards the lane they go. MarKE takes down Brett. There's the rifle drop. Cryptic will take it. Again, we mentioned how Cryptic is kind of a fire starter for this team. He found 3 in the pistol, 2 in the second, and from then on, he has been silent. Completely so. He will find the second. Good trade from Micro, but the op of Cynic does not miss, catching Micro immediately thereafter on the crossing. Cryptic through the wall, taps, and takes down MarKE. Okay, now it's an awkward spot to be in, but it is a very potentially good one. Stuck between one and the other. CJ peeking in, just finds the timing, and Freshie on the P250 can't do much. Cynic on the USP finds that. And so it is a third in a row as well for Nouns.
Mm-hmm. But there is a buy for Detonate again, and I believe they have an op too. I saw one floating around. Slight should be able to get one. Brett should have a rifle available to him as well. Cynic doing a very good job with his own op now that he's had one in his hands. And now I'm starting to wake up across the board. Cynic, of course, at the top of the scoreboard. MarKE right there behind him. CJ and B Wills chiming in. They're starting to get into it here. Cynic aggressing down mid. Oh, mid. Cryptic running knife out. He's got no chance against that peek. And no bottom mid T-ramp peek to counter Cynic's push either. He's able to get that one for free. And Slight's going to eat an HE down to 41 HP. MarKE falls in the interim. But still, advantage to Nouns given the HP, the damage, and the amount of utility they still have available. A lot of time on the clock, though. Opportunities for Detonate to find an opening A.
Lots of time. Minute 15 or thereabouts. Cynic, though, walking to the angle, finds one, but not before Brett drops CJ in the meanwhile. Cynic still posted. Good flash bang, forces him away, and Cynic goes after the shot. Very well thrown from Slight. And that is the advantage secured. The A side opened up, and the plant as well forthcoming. Carson and B Wills, the two B defenders, they will attempt it. It looks like they're going to attempt it at least. They're both here towards the arches. They might be thinking better of it. You can tell they're literally looking at one another. They're just deliberating. And they realize it's Inferno. If you're down a man, you do not attempt the retake. And so,
on A anyway.
Yeah, especially on A. They'll begrudgingly fall away. Give the round to Detonate. Detonate will reestablish a bit of a lead. They hold on to their op. They keep 3 players alive, and that means they can slowly begin to build this T-side economy.
Both teams should be stronger on their T side, so we can expect a very voracious attack from Nouns when they swap over. So right now it's about Detonate getting as many rounds as possible on the board before they go to what appears to be a very weak defense for them, at least according to the stats over 19 maps. Ops for both sides again, full buy for Nouns, but they are at the bottom of their money. They won't be able to buy anything else. They can't just get a bailout or take some loans and get more guns. They have to eco or save. We'll see if they can avoid that proposition. They're still in that territory too, where even if they win but only 1 or 2 players survives, their buy is going to be severely hampered. So they're not in clear water just yet, still by the rocky shores. Detonate trying to force them against the shoals and dash their boat to pieces. Carson goes down early. Another opening from Brett over towards B. He's been very good at least doing damage on that side of the map. And this time he wins it relatively clean. Cryptic gets tagged in the meantime by Cynic's op shot. But Brett and company have all this banana control, and Nouns are completely abandoning it. They're gamble stacking A.
I saw one, at least maybe even two towards the apartments. So they're going for the gamble stack, having lost Carson. Brett is always lurking towards banana. That's also an added caveat, right? He's always there. Showing presence, pestering, etc. This is their hard read, Nouns, and unfortunately their hard read is entirely wrong. It's a free open B bomb site. Fresh is lurking around for the players pressing middle. Down towards B.
It's doable if you get a free pick. They got freshie dead to rights. That should spur them on at the very least to probe and see if they can do anything. Because there's a chance they get one more kill on B that makes it easier to get back. It only flashbangs remain for Detonate to try and hold. Molotov available for CJ. A smoke towards Coffins as well. This is definitely winnable, but the smoke still not faded out towards CT. The push is coming through. Nobody showing for Detonate. The double up dark can be deadly. One found. They still expect the second, though. Do they clear out Coffins? Do they clear out Brett? Time is so far gone. They have to get the defuse. They've got the kills. Micro wins it all. He's bought enough time, and MarKE goes down with the ship. Detonate back and doubling up on Nouns with a 6-3 lead. Really well done by Detonate, playing very disciplined, not peeking, buying as much time as possible, forcing Nouns in. It is a very well played hold by the Detonate team. And we see something I've not seen in a long time in the hands of Cynic. Since back when he was on Party Astronauts, it's a very long time ago. It's the Cynic special. It's a Negev.
That's a little bit scary. Nouns reading into the economy, knowing both teams are kind of off kilter due to that scorched earth round, they will go for an investment. MP9s, a trio of them from Moss, and that aforementioned Negev versus a cobbled together buy from Detonate. They do have the op on Slight, but a Galil on Freshie and 3 AKs combined with less than ideal but enough utility means that this round could go in either direction. Talking about Detonate, look at their kills. Look at their spread bugs. Everybody has been carrying their weight except for Freshie. He's been getting incredibly unlucky on his lurks, on his timings. He got cleared out in towards the underpass in the round prior, for example. But everybody else has been fragging. Brett specifically, the question mark, how well would he perform? He's doing incredibly well thus far in this one with top of the board for his team. 8 kills. Cynic, though, it's menace on the Negev. I was worried he was going to play truck side up close and personal. Even that bloom that accompanies that LMG up close and personal still can't hit its mark at those close ranges, so it can be a very potent weapon up close and personal.
Cynic actually does practice with the Negev too, or at least he used to. So he does know how to use the gun, which is the scarier part. It's not like he's just some random picking up a Negev. It's like, all right, screw it. Negev time. Let's see if it works. He actually knows how to use it. On Nuke, he actually knows particular spams for it. MarKE gonna get 2 on the MP9 from Arch. That's a one-and-done angle. He manages a second out of CJ up on the balcony. Tries to get away with that gun. Cynic now gonna get pressured. He gets the first. He knows where the next is. Swaps to the sidearm. Knows he has to move. Back to the Negev. Lets it fly. Slight on the Glock, but no time on the core. Nouns escape with a very narrow victory, problem being they're in another rough economic time. And the other thing too, Nate, is that Detonate have no money themselves. They're going to force in here. They're on double eco. They have the op on Slight. It's going to be Tex and an op and a P250 with a little bit of utility. Nouns, they've got themselves a chance to close the gap again, get to 5, look for 6. Detonate, if they can come out with this though, this establishes a stranglehold on the half where they can just start to run rampant with it.
Yeah, they have to invest as well. Slight had a 350 in the bank. He's going to be on a save for the next couple of runs regardless.
Yep.
It's difficult to be in, but I will say Tech 9s on Inferno, very scary, especially with that op of Slight backing them up. And they're taking a lot of map control for contact. Yeah. This is a good setup for Detonate.
Nouns playing very passive Only 2 players here, 3 towards the B site. Nobody in fast rotation position either. Arch is wide open. MarKE playing anti-flash up on the balcony. He's now starting to look for a lane rush. CJ holding as well, keeping a cursory eye on the Arch wrap. Now Nouns are starting to get a little scared. Cynic clearing Speedway, but it's going to be a full-on wrap. 3 lane, 2 towards Arch. Oh, MarKE can't get anything out of that one. CJ's got to pull up a miracle play. He sprays wildly, panicking onto freshie. He cannot get the kill, or onto Slight, rather. He can't get that kill. Now the bomb goes down. It's a retake scenario for Nouns where they realistically could opt for a save, and that might be a better option than throwing everything they have at this. There's now 2 guns, 2 rifles in the hands of the Detonate players. Micro and Brett holding on to those. Cryptic at half HP, up on site with a Tech 9. Run down by the MAC-10, but it's a good plant for the players in pit. On the Detonate side, 3v3, time becoming an ally quickly. Brett Slight aggressive in the kills, go their way. Carson running around, caught on the reload, up on top of the hit. He's done.
And the bomb radius ensures his fate.
Oh yeah.
Locks him in, 1 HP, no chance in this world at all. 7th round secured. Another scorched earth round though. Means that the money's kind of going to be scrappy yet again for both teams. Carson at 5,600 could go for a hero rifle. It could be an investment from Nouns. He could drop MP9s. We saw how deadly those SMGs were. So we could see another very scrappy, I say scrappy, but we've seen an op drop from Carson to Cynic instead. These rounds have been, I don't want to keep saying scrappy box. I want to say something different. Ugly, not sounds too bad as well. I don't know how to describe it. A brawl, a street brawl, I guess is the best way to put it. Neither team wants to give up any hold they have in these rounds, any chance they have in these rounds.
Good opening there for Nouns, but can they hold the line? That's the other thing. Molotov in, does a little bit of chip to Cynic and B-Wills, but it's not going to be enough to yield any kills necessarily. Extra rotation back to A now. Will Detonate still probe towards B? Cynic aggressive. He's been caught on a couple of flashbangs here several times. Wide swing by Micro. Cynic misses the shot. And now only 1 player left to defend B. That is B-Wills. He does pick up 1 plus half onto Cryptic. Spam from Carson doing a little bit more. But B-Wills holds the line, or at least attempts to before Freshie puts him down. Cryptic eventually removed as the bomb gets planted out towards Oranges. And only 2 players left to hold. No utility at all for Freshie and Slight. It's going to be dry fights the whole way through. 2 MP9s and a 5.7 to oppose. The 5.7 is not an easy task to unseat, and the MP9 zooming across the screen are deadly. First contact made, 5.7 dealt with. Freshie taking a little more damage. Slight tucking into water, but he could get cleared out of the hobbit hole. Freshie backs him up after that second kill, and Detonate escape with the half and with the round. And finally, now should not be full investing into this one. It should be a half, and for the first time in about 5, a pretty clear round who's going to win it in terms of firepower advantage.
Finally, one team pulls away from the other, balancing out their economy, shoving the other ones down into a half-buy situation. Finally returned to normalcy, Boggs. Took a little longer than expected, but here we are. So MAC-10's invested on Brett and Cryptic. They're looking to harvest the cash. They're both racing down Banana as well. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a no-holds-barred, caution to the wind kind of play from Detonate. Simple, straight towards B.
Slow and steady. Clearing everything up methodically. Slight looking for a pick towards CT. Maybe once that contact's made, he'll catch somebody overextending. Molotov in towards New Box. That actually was an orange molly, excuse me. Brett's gonna take that first kill. CJ gets nothing but Cynic's nade. Finds Brett, and it's a man advantage with the low HP Freshie on Detonate. Finally, Cynic's cleared out, but B-Will still holding the line on site. CJ's through the smoke. Slide's backed up by Freshie. All up to MarKE. Now a very topsy-turvy round with a lot of damage taken by Detonate. And still a chance for MarKE, although a very slim one on 9 HP. With a P250 in hand, no plant. MarKE's biding his time, waiting for that sound cue to go on through. Detonate should be able to grab 9 here. Keyword should. MarKE does get the first. And actually now, oh, slide slop to a Galil. That's a very good move. But does he get timing? Does he get caught by MarKE, who somehow crept up to church unnoticed?
Slide's walked off the side.
My
He's full in on trying to get this kill, but MarKE's biding his time well. MarKE's dancing with that. There's no time to get the plant now. If MarKE just lives, it's over. MarKE, he's pulled it off. He's done it. Slide runs out of time again. Will he grab the op at the very least? No. He loses the op. He loses the round. He loses it all. In this game,
Holy.
has upended every expectation I've had, Bugs. Rounds that should be cleanly won are scrappy to the bitter end, and in fact end in the other team's favor. We've had 2 rounds now where Slide has been left alone after time with no chance to plant. It's been pandemonium.
We said it was going to be a typical NA derby when we looked at the maps, right?
We did.
This game has NA written all over it, just the insanity that's going on. Freshie gets picked off first by Cynic. That's a good start, and a second from Cynic as well. But the way these last few rounds have been going, now Cryptic's going to find like a collateral 1D through a wall and somehow win the round. Brett's blinded and finished by on the Deagle. There with him, and now the Eagles making their rotation. Carson spawning the clock to work with though for Detonate, but this one should be one they have no business winning. But again, should does not necessarily mean will.
Yeah, this game seems to be cursed, forced into consistently scrappy rounds. But Nouns, they actually upend that curse, might finally dispel it. They get a convincing victory, a clean one, relatively speaking. Only Cynic falls, they keep 4 M4s in hand, and that gives them a solid investment going into this last round of the first half. Detonate, they've guaranteed themselves the advantage, but can they secure a bit of a larger breadth before heading over to the CT side? Again, the weaker side, or their own map pick.
The other thing is, too, though, the way these rounds have devolved, if this trend continues in the second half, it's going to be incredibly more difficult for anybody on the CT side to get anything going. They just run up B. They're getting all 3. They're all done at the bomb plant on the site. Micro, Cryptic, Brett, deathballing in. They take a lot of damage, sure, but the pistol rush has paid off the plant, and only 2 left standing. The stack dismantled, and Cynic felled MarKE last alive. 1v5. 9-6 looks incredibly likely for Detonate. And after the last couple of rounds, what salvation that brings. It's flawless for Detonate as we end 9-6 at the half.
Hey Future Pros! Having a good A exec on Dust 2 can make your life so much easier. So today I'll show you the Na'Vi A exec, which they pulled off perfectly on a force buy. To do this exec, you'll need 4 Future Pros, 4 smokes, 3 flashes, and a molly. Future Pro number 1. You'll be throwing the Xbox smoke to help your team get short control. To throw the smoke, get into this back corner. Crouch down and aim at this shadow. Then stand up and jump throw the smoke. Now get your team to get short control, but be careful as there could be a pesky CT chillin'. Future Pro number 2. You'll be throwing the one-way smoke, 2 flashes, and a short molly. To throw your smoke, get into this corner. Aim at the bottom right corner of this window and throw your smoke. Then put your back against the wall and aim just to the left of this part of the box while crouched. While still crouched, jump throw your 2 flashes. These flashes will destroy a close long player. Once you have thrown the flashes, quickly lob a molly back towards short as you could be getting fast flanked. Future pro number 3. You'll be throwing a CT smoke, a sight molly, and a flash to get you down to the CT ramp. To throw your smoke, get into this doorway. Aim to the top corner of this building and throw the smoke. Then throw your molly from behind the closed smoke just to the right of the palm tree and it should molly sight. After that, underhand a flash into CT and hop down with it. Try very hard not to blind yourself or your team with this one. Then sprint towards long and get a free kill onto the long CT who is hopefully playing close. Keep advancing and take full long control as this will allow your team to plant for long if you succeed. Finally, Future Pro number 4, or FP4 as I like to call it. You'll be throwing the closed short smoke along with the flash for sight. To throw your smoke, aim just in between these 2 boxes above the barrels. Then get close to the box and underhand throw the smoke. It looks like a moving throw, but I assure you it's not. You can throw this smoke more safely, but if Bit lives on the edge then you should too. Throw your flash off this wall which shouldn't blind your teammates but will flash a CT trying to advance on the smokes, and then take the site. Give this one a crack offline, but I'm sure all you future pros will be able to nail it down after at most 20 attempts.
Ladies and gentlemen, half number 2 is upon us. Detonate. Surprising us on the first half of their own map pick. Keep in mind, is Detonate's map pick Nouns' best map. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs, and Nouns on their team, their favored side. Let's see exactly what they have in mind. It's a split thus far. 3 towards A, 2 towards Banana. Detonate, what is their setup? 3 towards the brackets, 2 on the B site proper, and this player towards Banana is just throwing a bit of a lurk, a bit of a fake at CJ, but meanwhile, Cynic is the first casualty of the round over towards brackets. The Halls pop comes through, MarKE finds 1 on the Cryptic. Back to even footing, and the bomb plant is coming through as well. It's going to be a bloodbath, 4 versus 4 on the retake.
Another one for Carson here as Freshie gets removed. Brett closing the gap, Slight holding for him, but MarKE with another Glock headshot. It's headshots all around for Nouns. Slight. The pincer, Slight's got nowhere to run. Death releases him from the turmoil. And a critical pistol round victory for Nouns. Nouns on their T side of this map, 59.4% win rate. Detonate on the CT side, 44.7% win rate. And keep in mind, folks, that the majority of Detonate's games on this map were against competition less than what Nouns are usually up against. So the stats, I think, do bear a little bit more weight in the favor of Nouns than in the favor of Detonate. They're going to force up here. Scout for Slight. Deagle's on 3. P250 on Brett. Detonate need to find a way to bolster this defense once the true guns come out, but winning here on the 4 would be a good start to something positive. 4-stack lane for the CT side. But Nouns should not be taking this one easy. Good flashbang to gain the brackets control. Trades 1 for 1. MarKE doubles. Cynic there for more. The stack has been dismantled. The bomb can be recovered. Slight is still here, and his tag will actually get a team kill out of it. But Brett in a 1v2, both players low on health, half and 1/4. Opportunity, though, for this P250 to shine. One tap will work. The range won't. Carson puts him down. 1 round the difference.
Always a very scary round. Brett could have easily stolen that one away with the P250. The smoke guising his view, the P250's inherent inaccuracy, everything working against him there. He just can't connect those finishing blows onto the player default. Only 1 round separating these two teams. Nouns have every advantage going into this round, round number 18. As Detonate have, what, 2 flashbangs and a P250? That's all they've invested into. So this should be a cakewalk for the T-side, and an opportunity for Nouns to really cement their T-side economy going into the rifle rounds.
Let Cynic farm on the MarKE 10. That's going to be something important for him. Of course, winning the round clean would be the most important part of it all. But you never know. Things can get dangerous. They can always go awry, as we've seen so far through this map of Inferno. Mirage up next too, folks, so it's going to get even puggier after this one when we do go to map number 2, over past map 3, if we do go the distance for those of us joining. Oh, the MarKE 10 spray from Cynic doesn't even get much damage at all. It did 14 damage out of all of that. That's a bit unlucky. They do know there's a double stack towards Cold Box. That will fall away now. A slower, more methodical clear. Good counter flash in for Cryptic's P250, but he can't get the kills. 3 players now on the site proper. Flashbangs going in. Molotovs in as well. Smoke around to play the pistols with, but Brett will get caught by MarKE. Carson clearing up on site. Spots another behind the Molotov. Does not see the third, though. He's going to get blindsided. Good little flick around from CJ, but Carson still falls. Freshie, last man alive, does add 1 more to his account before he goes down. 9 all the score. But the most important part out of that for Detonate is 3 kills on a round where they basically invest nothing at all. That is fantastic to damage that T economy and keep them honest.
3 kills with what? 2 P250s and 2 flashes?
Yep.
That's $1,000 invested across the board. That is a lot of damage, more than could be reasonably asked. There was also no bomb plant, important to note, so no extra dosh in the bank for Nouns. Very solid round for Detonate, all things considered. They can now look forward to the rifle rounds. Still a tied ball game, still anybody's game. You have 4 M4s and the op out for Slight as well. Looking at Nouns, they just went for the full suite of AKs. Again, some teams shirk off that op on the T side. Some teams embrace it. In this case, it looks like Nouns more than happy with the AKs across the board.
Well, they didn't really have the option. I mean, I guess they could have, but it would have been messy in terms of lacking utility. Brett's got another on the fadeaway last round of the spray. He picks up B Wills, and no trade back just yet. The bomb falling forward. Finally, MarKE deals with Micro, but Brett is still holding the line. Looks like he's missed no time despite his recent health issues. Takes a lot of damage on that one, but he still has time for another. 4 HP. Brett is solo holding the site. The Alamo finally falls, but the rotations are here. He bought time for his teammates to come through. All up to CJ now. No bomb plant in sight. 2 from Banana, 1 through Church. 1 swing, 2, and it's Slight with the trade. Costly victory for Detonate, but they've got a bit of money to reinvest with. Won't be ideal in Nouns. This is where that loss on 2 rounds ago really comes back to haunt them. Cynic's at 1450. They've got to go in. He'll get an op from CJ. It's going to be an op, pistols, and a Galil for Nouns here.
We've seen what this kind of buy can do. We saw the Tech 9 rush Banana in the final round of that first half. Detonate stealing that one away. Nouns could do something similar, maybe a Halls pop or something similar. I'm very excited to see where their op goes, though. Is it going to get that duel against Slight? That is what I want to know. It looks like it will. Just walking into the brackets. No, Slight turns away, doesn't want to overstay his welcome. He knows those players can group up and just swing him, so he likes to fall back first. MarKE drops Cryptic. Freshie, though, quick on the trade, ensures that rifle will not get recovered. Even footing 4 versus 4. But that op is the important factor. If Cynic is dropped and the op is not recoverable, that should be the round.
Keyword should, but the Deagle and the Tech 9 can always find something. We saw Detonate do it a few times in that previous round, or previous half. Utility going into the A side. Moto smoke down. Counter from Slight in towards apartments. Carson might think better of going on through. He's still prepping some utility for his teammates. Stalled out towards brackets with those flames looking at their heels. Brett pushing all the way down Banana. He's clearing it up. They know it's going to be an A take, but can Nouns get the site control before the pinch comes in? The pinch comes in. Freshie's got the first. Carson has nothing. Brett running down Cynic from behind. It's a mop-up job by Detonate. They get up to 11 rounds, and they keep 4 alive as well. Grab an AK for their troubles. And that is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Detonate side. Cryptic goes in on an MP9, but it'll be a save here for Nouns, maybe a P250 for MarKE, and even that is pushing their economic boundaries. Detonate should be able to get up to a 3-round lead again here. If they don't, that would be a major concern. It's Glocks, a Deagle, a P250. Cynic full investing into this round, presumably on a Mac Daddy coming into the next. But Slight deals with the first MarKE player down. Oh, B-Wills, he's almost dead. Brett's just spraying away. Brett has been on fire this game.
Brett has been dastardly. I want to highlight, he kind of covered it all, but just busted it down the porch side there, running it down full speed, just shooting that player in the back. He's feeling confident. He's feeling comfortable. And this Detonate Inferno is inspiring. B-Will's on the op. It's a nice 1D onto Freshie swinging it. It feels like Freshie has just been bullied time and time again, no matter where he is. He's playing the selfless positions alone on T side. That time around, he double swung with his teammate dutifully. He fell, but he did his job. That MP9 can be dropped in. The AK can be recovered. Everything's looking so good and so well oiled for Detonate. Good dink from CJ, but it's a Glock. Doesn't do any real damage to Brett, who finds his 17th in that round. Look at Detonate's score as well. Everybody is finding kills. 13 kills for 3 of the players. 16 for Micro, who's the IGL, might I add, and 17 for Brett, who buys a P90.
I hate it.
I love it. I love it. I think it was dropped by a teammate.
He's going to push Banana with it, surely.
We saw him running out with the M4 like it was a P90, so
Yeah.
it could definitely work.
I mean, the A1SU actually kind of can get away with that. It's not recommended, but it did work. And this buy for Nouns is pretty abysmal. 3 smokes, that's all the utility 3 players have. And then an okay amount on Cynic and CJ, but Cynic's all the way down on a Tech 9. Fast 8 controls, the smokes fly in. Molotov to stop any aggression from the likes of Brett. Micro gonna try and spam. Maybe MarKE's already dealt with Cryptic though. Micro working around, flanking in towards brackets. Freshie gets destroyed by B-Wills, but Micro's already here on lane, sitting in the porch, but he's expected. Flashbang in, they triple swing him. He goes down to CJ's hand, finishes off MarKE before he falls. Brett and Slight might just save. Slight's nade has stopped the plant. 3v2, a lot more winnable, and Brett's on to an M4 now. Spots out Carson, but he can't control the bucking Bronco that is the A4 when he's an A1S user. Slight does not want to give over a free op to Cynic, so he will run for the hills. Will not knife the chicken, though. And we will see a 10th on the board for Nouns. This is just map number 1, folks. We still got Mirage at the very least coming up after this one, the pick of Nouns. Right now on Inferno, it's still anybody's game.
It's been a barn-burning brawl. It's been crazy between these two teams. Either one wanting to give away any sort of momentum. That first half was marred by compromised buy after compromised buy. Now things have solidified a bit more. Slight holding passively will survive. He found one onto Cynic. 3 players falling makes it a costly round for Nouns. They should have no problem reinvesting thanks to that bomb plant. It'll be AKs across the board, along with good utility. Detonate as well had some coin built up in the coffers, so they'll be able to invest as well, but this is a swing round box. Both teams kind of hurting on the cash. If they fall without any players surviving, it could very well be a save in the following.
In the map, pretty much on a nice edge for Detonate here, for Nouns here. Detonate with 2 of the 3 opening picks towards Car, and a lot of damage on the next. Carson down to 1-shot territory at 11 HP. And rotations here from Cryptic, tucking in towards coffins. Nouns chucking in utility. Cryptic going forward, hiding around those coffins as his teammates flood on through. Nice swing peek. He gets the second. Oh, not quite the third, but the HP, they're both one shot here. Slight's running on through. Scope won't actually connect. Slight takes a lot of damage for his trouble. That could actually cause a problem because he's technically a one-on-one duel. Nice one, but Cynic's got the first. This is winnable for him. Freshie, though, spams the smoke and gets it done. Bomb plant might facilitate another buy for Nouns, but
it's a tilter. No, that is a tilter round. It's a tilter round right there. 100%. Nouns had a chance with two players at 11 and 3 respectively. But you saw Cynic throw a Molotov CT when he knew both players were towards the coffins. Carson was trying to escape, and he was forced into the action. He was killed by his teammate. And that is a tilt. Nouns camp because of that. I would love to see a timeout. I don't think we've seen a single tactical timeout this whole game. Right now, I would say call a tactical timeout because your buy is all over the place. You're racing into this one with a MAC 10 and a Tech 9. Slow things down, talk things out, because that is definitely a tilter and a miscommunication in what could have been an upset victory.
That is a big tilter. Mirage up next. Overpass to decide this series if we do get that far. But Detonate looking fresh and spicy. Nouns, issues potentially arising. Slight, that's a nice little flick. Traded out by Cynic. That's the site open, but there's a problem, Nate. They don't have the objective. So yes, they have site control, but it means nothing. Carson gets cleared out of halls. MarKE is still in halls. MarKE's still in halls. They have no bomb. There's no way they win the round unless they fight it all out, and they're at a man disadvantage.
Spots one, gets the kill. The second, no, not meant to be. Good trade from Cryptic. Remaining two players head for the hills. Cynic and B-Wills, they're hoping to find only one player on this site. They're hoping to take the duel against Cryptic cleanly, because if not, it's going to be a very difficult 1 versus X clutch. Cryptic playing around the cold box. This is a decent spot to be. And Nouns have no choice but to just walk in. Cynic has no head armor either. He's a one-shot headshot for the A4. It's not bode well for Nouns. Straight contact. Cryptic holding his line. 20 seconds left. Nouns have to attempt something. They've been spotted. He's been spotted. B-Wills gets the shot. Good one from him. Tied ball game 2 versus 2. The plant has to be attempted. Has to be stuck. Micro swinging in. Doesn't get the kill. Doesn't prevent the bomb plant from coming through. Now doable. Now possible for Nouns. Micro and Brett. 2 A1Ss. A little bit of utility. Is there a kit on the site? That's the question.
Yes. Yes, there is.
Time though. It's a factor. Molotov onto the site. B-Wills just dancing around the box. They still haven't come through. Bomb's over halfway gone at this point. And they have no idea where Cynic is lurking. Good dink on the B-Wills, but not the kill. They need to find it quickly. They know he's in pit. They expect it, but Cynic still wins the duel. And B-Wills, a nice shot on the second. That is a round stolen away by Nouns. That is not a round that they should be winning. It was desperate from the outset, desperate from the start of that A take, and yet they convert it. They find it, and they keep things contentious and within 2.
And you talk about desperate for Nouns in the last round. Look at this buy from Detonate. Double mag 7s, a P250, a Deagle, and a 5.7, and Micro is on a glass cannon mag 7. No armor shotgun, playing towards half wall. Tucks into sandbags as a Molotov would have forced him away. Second Molotov, that should be used towards sandbags if Cynic tosses it. Brett's gonna eat that mag, does not connect. Now they know where Brett is too. Cynic's got the double entry towards B. That should solidify the round. No reason for Cryptic, Freshie, or Slight to waste the Kevlar, but Cryptic's going down middle. He's looking for a cheeky frag. Carson was watching his teammates back, now tosses utility onto the site. Nouns looking to close the gap to 1 round as Cryptic is looking to just add a little more tilt to the dish. MarKE's watching though. Nouns are ready for it. They're doing all their due diligence clearing this site. Look how much utility they've thrown Molotovs in towards coffins and towards new box. Utility everywhere around. Like they would be doing a full take. They didn't just get 2 kills. So it's a good read by Nouns, making sure they don't get killed by anything funky yet again. But yeah. We still haven't seen a tactical timeout from either team so far this matchup. And I think that's kind of bizarre. Now, my question is Semphis here right now for Nouns? Because sometimes he isn't always here for online matches.
I would hope so. It always seems like they're keeping their cool, though. I was very worried after that 2v2 that things might just devolve, but no. Nouns, again, an emotionally mature team thus far. Keeping this one flawless and clean, it allows them to really stabilize this T-side economy. They'll keep all 5 rifles up. And now it's a 1-round ball game. Detonate should be on the save, no doubt here. Got the Deagle for freshie with the armor, Cryptic armor kit mag. It's scary, the pistols can do damage, but given how last round played out, I'm not optimistic for Detonate.
Yeah, I'm not either, but the thing is, we've seen crazier things so far this game. So, you can't count it out yet. I like this double up top oranges. Both won first and second. This is a really interesting play. Plus the boost towards Flower. This is just... It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
I was gonna say it's a high ground gambit.
The only thing is, they lose if there's even a boost towards arches. This is literally the strat should be called high ground.
Floor is lava. Actually, there's one player on the floor. And freshie stacked up. Nouns have made the right decision probing towards A.
Nice nade.
When do Detonate dismantle their B stack? That's the question.
They don't. They just sit and wait. Because if you have the high ground, it doesn't work anymore if you have to move, so they might as well just sit and wait. If they're gonna get the bomb plant for free without seeing a single person, this is just one of those rounds where it's just a classic whatever that song. I think it's the Benny Hill theme. I want to say.
Hackety sack.
Yeah. That's how this
Hackety
round
sack.
feels.
Yeah, it does. They're just kind of avoiding each other. I will say, Cryptic and Freshie could save. They have Kevlar. That's most important. Now just Freshie. Red's going to hunt around with the Deagle. Freshie knows the importance of the Kevlar. He's trying to stay alive. He's towards CT spawn. Expect the call. Red falls, though. No luck there. And that's 2 flawless rounds now for Nouns. They're really beginning to stabilize, really beginning to come into their own and get comfortable as they tie the ball game up. 13-13. 3 rounds separate both these teams from a victory here on map number 1. And Detonate, what is the buy? What is the strat? Honestly, right now, this could be a very good time to call a tactical pause.
It would be a very good time to call a tactical pause. It's not could, it's would. And Slide's got the glass cannon off here. Everybody else on rifles. Utility is okay, it's not fantastic, but they do lack a critical $400 piece of equipment, which could save them should the bomb go down. No defuse kit for Detonate. I think they're banking on the rifles to pull them ahead. Aggression towards Banana, good utility damage. Sprays a double entry for B-Wills! Flash for Cynic helps it, and this time Nouns are not going to tarry on Banana car. They're going to charge into sight, get that bomb down, and now they'll try and hold 5v3. This might be a save for Detonate, and it probably should, given how little money they would have in the next round, and how that would give Nouns a 15th on the board. Nouns a lead in the dying embers of the map. Critical juncture, they take an advantage. And Detonate have to wave the white flag and retreat for the next round.
They have to try to. You can tell Nouns are smothering them. This round was so close to success as well. They had one more nade towards Banana. They had their guns out slightly quicker, giving an entirely different round. Look how low they all are on the downside. 4 HP for B-Wills. Most HP on a player is 62 on Karsten and CJ. The other 2 are below half. Or below or right around half. The remaining 3 players for Detonate. Will they live? 2 will. Cryptic falls. That is an acceptable loss, I must say. Given how voraciously Nouns were hunting. 2 alive. Pretty good outcome. But now, what is the investment? They don't have the majority of rifles anymore. They have to kind of just buy around, fill as best they can while keeping some money in the bank. And there we go. We finally see a tactical pause. Figure out what they want to go for, Detonate. And see if they can pull a miracle off, because Nouns are 1 away from map point on the opener.
But imagine if they would have used that timeout last round. Imagine what that would have done.
Last round it wasn't even like they just got slightly ahead too. That was the thing. It was so unfortunate.
Yeah, they just got caught at banana, and Nouns countered it. They expected the aggression.
It's a killer transfer, and they got right in front of the util. It was so close to being not even a hold off or a standoff. It was so close to being just a fold from Nouns. They just by ticks got ahead of it.
This buy is bizarre. A Mag 7 on Micro, double MP9 on Cryptic. One kit for Slight, he does have armor this time. But it's far from ideal for Detonate, and again, they're up against a reset with 15 looking if Nouns winning on the board. Molotov flushes Cryptic out. Brett falls to Carson. It's a collapse for Detonate. One player here is Freshie, and he is fresh out of luck. Bomb will go down on B. Slight has to save the op again. Micro on the glass cannon mag will just go for an exit, go for a hunt. But Nouns will have map point here. They have battled all the way back. And, well, there's an upgrade for Micro if he wants to go get it, which he takes the long way around for. Unless he's going for... Oh my gosh, he's going for more than 8. He's going for double. He's double dipping. And he's done it. He's gotten away with it.
These 2 kills to get 2K in the bank. That's the way I look at it. I like it. Drop of Slight, now being pressured as well. This is a far more consequential duel. He needs to stay alive. He knows CJ can walk into this. He's holding for it. Gets the no-scope. There we go. A little bit of flare there. Detonate at least making... I want to say that making the round costly, but it doesn't matter. Money from Nouns. They've had 2 flawless rounds in a row. It's of no consequence. Slight playing the stay alive game, but to no avail. In the smoke, he's found. B will spamming away, finds the head, and that is a critical one. That is the op dropped. There will be an investment from Freshie into the very same gun, but it forces them into an uglier buy than it would have been otherwise. Brett has only a FAMAS. And it makes things even more difficult for an already strained Detonate defense.
Yeah, they would have had more utility. Slight wouldn't have had to drop a gun around. It would have been a lot better for Detonate, but they can't keep the op alive, so that means they have to do it the hard way. Nobody ever said it was easy beating Nouns on Inferno. Quite the opposite. They've done admirably, but close. Only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Beagle's hand grenade? Not close enough to do the damage. Slight backing away. Tosses in the incendiary back towards Car. Micro, just a bit too late on the peak. Doesn't want to overextend either. Wise decision. But at the same time, too much passivity can definitely harm you. There we go. That's the aggression that Detonate needed. B Will's removed from the field of play. Freshie around. Hey, Card will pick up CJ through the little gap. 5v3 as a matter of fact. Making a 4v3 as Carson eliminates Freshie. Out on sight. Cryptic stuck. And Carson's double entried in. He wakes up at the right possible time. What could be the last round of this map. And he's brought it to a 3v3 bomb down and tucks in towards stairs. Off from Cynic lets one rip. But it's Micro and MarKE and Carson to get the kills. All up to Slight. He can't even get the first. MarKE silences and Nouns complete the comeback. They find a way to win. A magnificent return to form from some of their individuals. And they rob Detonate, who had all the luck on their side through that first half, who just could not get it over the line.